Hello and welcome. You're watching News Central Television. I am Judith at TV. It's time for News Central now, and here are the top stories at this hour. As Nigeria celebrates 65th independence anniversary, as President Tinubu declares economic turnaround, listing 12 milestones. In the meantime, Dangote Refinery and PENGASSAN has reached agreement to end industrial standoff after government intervention. And the U.S. government shutdown begins as partisan division takes control of Washington. We've got the details shortly. And we'll begin the news in Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, where President Bola Tinubu delivered an early morning address to commemorate Nigeria's 65th independence anniversary. Now, the president assured citizens that the country's worst days are over and reaffirmed that the economy is firmly on the path to recovery. He emphasized that his administration has chosen the path of tomorrow over the comfort of today, stressing that ongoing reforms are laying the foundation for long-term stability. Highlighting progress recorded in the last 28 months, President Tinubu listed key milestones, including non-oil revenue growth, improved fiscal health, stronger foreign reserves, rising tax to GDP ratio, and Nigeria now being a net exporter, among others.
As a new administration, we face a simple choice: continue business as usual and watch our nation drift, or embark on a courageous fundamental reform path. We chose the path of reform. We chose the path of tomorrow over the comfort of today. Less than 3 years later, the seeds of those difficult but necessary decisions are bearing fruits. In resetting our country for sustainable growth, we ended the corrupt fuel subsidy and multiple foreign exchange rates that created massive incentive for a rentier economy, benefiting only a tiny minority. At the same time, the masses received little or nothing from our commonwealth. Our administration has redirected the economy towards a more inclusive path, channeling money to fund education, healthcare, national security, agriculture, and political economic infrastructure, such as roads, power, broadband, and social investment programs. These initiatives will generally improve Nigerians' quality of life as a result of the tough decisions we made the federal and state government, including local government.
And joining us now is Nigerian lawyer Tony Jaja. He joins us live from Lesotho for his thoughts and just analysis on the president's speech. Tony, good to have you join us. Now, President Tinubu said Nigeria's worst days are over. What signs are there that the Nigerian economy is truly recovering? Tony.
Okay, I like to speak from a factual point of view. He listed 12 achievements. However, the question is, how do these achievements translate for the common man? For example, Nigeria was declared the poverty capital of the world in 2019 because we have 130 million Nigerians living under poverty. Now, the question is, as of today, which is 1st of October, 2025, can we say that Nigeria is no longer the poverty capital of the world? We're still the poverty capital of the world. So you have more than half of the population living under poverty. The definition of poverty is $1 a day. So these 12 achievements, economically, you've not lifted Nigerians, the majority, over 60%, living under poverty. So can you really say that you have achieved if you are still defined as the poverty capital of the world? It's a question for the president to think about. Because these 12 achievements, have they translated into uplifting the majority of the citizens of Nigeria out of poverty? Very recently, the head of the tax program in Nigeria said they are going to impose taxes on runs girls, ladies of the night. So the question is, if we're doing so well economically, why do you have to tax runs girls to raise money for the country? These are questions any right-thinking person would be asking.
If you're going to tax money on sex workers, that means that you have legalized sex work, isn't it? But away from that, I mean, from your submission, you said that it's very clear that in spite of the growth or the 12 achievements that the president had outlined, it means nothing for the everyday Nigerians, or it hasn't translated in some sort of tangible, let it be tangible for Nigerians. But another major concern is security as well. I want you to speak on that. And most importantly, security has been a major focus for the government. What progress has been made, against terrorism and violent crimes? Have there been any progress with this government and this administration, based on your assessment?
We need to use tangible indicators to measure security. Recently, a new terror group was discovered in Kebbi State, around Kebbi. So Nigeria is still listed as a country that is under the attack of terrorist groups. So you cannot, with tangible results, say that Nigeria has overcome the problem of terrorism, which is insecurity. So you cannot confidently say that insecurity has been conquered in Nigeria, at least in major parts of the country. You are in journalism. You just read or saw recently that a journalist was killed, died because of armed robbery attack in the capital of Nigeria, not in some other state, in the capital city, Abuja. And she lives in a high-brow area. Katampe is a high-brow area, a more secure area of the federal capital. So can you talk about security when these things are happening? Then very recently, the Nigerian police announced that a vehicle, its own vehicle, was stolen from the police headquarters. And then the Nigerian police is making an appeal to other law enforcement agencies to help them recover their vehicle. That means there's no CCTV in the headquarters of the Nigerian police in the capital, Abuja. There's no tracking device on the vehicle of the Nigerian police that was stolen from the police headquarters premises. And yet the police is going around arresting people for tinted glasses, arresting people for not having motor vehicle insurance. Meanwhile, their own vehicle was stolen. That tells you a lot about the state of security in the capital of Nigeria itself.
Right. As we're talking about security, let's also talk about infrastructure. The president highlighted major infrastructure projects, and one of them that you recall is Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. There's a lot of controversy when it comes to that project. How will these projects impact national development? I mean, just seeing all that's happening, the trail of I don't know the better adjective to leave when it comes to Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Just even the commencement of the project, so loss of jobs and properties, and it still continues. And we're waiting for this impact. Will there be impact from these projects on a national developmental level?
Okay, so I work in the Kingdom of Lesotho, and one of the requirements before you embark on any project, you must publish the environmental impact assessment for all the public to view and know whether they support that project or not. So for this Lagos-Calabar Coastal Railroad, there was no impact assessment report before the commencement of that project, because an environmental impact assessment report will tell you the livelihoods that will be affected by that project. And then there's a computation of costs, and you pay compensation to those whose livelihoods will be negatively impacted by that project. There was no such thing. We just woke up one morning, we believe, we believe this will do good for us, without a feasibility study to tell us, okay, you're sinking 1 trillion naira, for example, on the Lagos-Calabar highway. What will be the commensurate benefits financially to the country? If you put in 1 trillion naira, it's expected that at least you double, you gain, the benefit will be more than 1 trillion to the Nigerian economy, and not loss of livelihoods, loss of employment, loss of communal property to people. It's not commensurate with the investments you're making. No sane country does that kind of, behaves in that way. There's a process before you undergo government spending. You have to do a feasibility study, environmental impact assessment, before you now even go for tender, competitive tender, which means companies who are into road constructions, they will have to bid, and then you choose the best. Here we hear a situation where a friend of the president, the company of a friend of the president, won the bid. There was no bid even.
Right.
He won the contract.
All right. I must say thank you, Jaja, for taking out the time to join us. Sonia Jaja is a legal practitioner joining us live, Nigerian legal practitioner joining us live from Lesotho, giving us insights on the president's Independence Day speech. And now we head to the capital, Abuja, where the Abuja-Kaduna train service has resumed passenger services on Independence Day after 34 days of inactivity following the derailment of 4 of its coaches at its Asham mini station close to Kaduna State on August 26th. Following this development, Nigerians are now heaving a sigh of relief. Now, speaking to News Central, Sagir Ibrahim, currently aboard the train to Kaduna, Nigerians say resumption of train services has eased transportation between the two cities. They also used the occasion to share their Independence Day messages as Nigeria clocks 65 years. Take a look.
Abuja-Kaduna train en route to the Rigasa train station as resumption of activities commenced today. I'll be speaking with some passengers on this train this morning to get their take on how it has been since the 34 days of inactivity of this train station.
It has been very difficult for some of us that we could not travel via the road, but we thank God this is the first train that is going on from Kubwa to Abuja since the resumption of the duty, and we hope we reach Kaduna safely, and we hope the manager of the railway will ensure proper services of the railway and ensure the security of the road for properties of the passenger and the goods of the passengers.
Well, except for the wait. The usual time is supposed to leave by 9:05, but there was a bit of delay. But everything's fine so good.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. So the conversation goes on. We'll be speaking to more individuals. Maybe this time we go to the front to speak with others.
It hasn't been easy because using the road is not very pleasant because our roads are very bad. So I'm happy the train is back.
The roads are not that good. It's more convenient when you go by train, and so with the roads being empty, with the roads being the roads became very busy, and we had a lot of issues. So I think it's a welcome development that we're back and everything is going well.
Today is also Independence Day.
Yes.
I have a message for Nigerians and our leaders.
Nigeria will work. As a people, I think we should just have faith in our leaders.
All is set in Lagos for the reopening ceremony of the Wole Soyinka Centre for Culture and the Creative Arts, formerly known as the National Theatre by President Bola Tinubu. It's one of the landmark events holding on the sidelines of Nigeria's 65th Independence Day celebration. Now joining us live for more details on this is Israel Ifirobo, who is standing by for updates on the story. Now, Israel, the president is expected there. What's the mood like ahead of the reopening? Israel.
Judith, it's here at the formerly known National Theatre here in Igomu, Lagos, Nigeria. The president is being expected, and so many dignitaries are already on ground. Without much ado, let's just quickly talk to the DG of the National Arts Theatre, Mrs. Tola Curley, real quick now, so we can get our thoughts on what today is all about. Thank you for talking to us. This is News Central Television. How exactly are you feeling today?
I'm very excited. It's a great day. It's 1st of October, Independence, National Theatre is reopening. So, I mean, it's a really glorious day.
So a lot of people are wondering, I mean, what kind of work, went into the remodeling, the refurbishing of this edifice?
The work was actually done by the Bankers Committee of Nigeria, and it's a multi-billion-dollar project. All the main ball, the banquet hall, the cinemas, all the spaces have been beautifully renovated, so it's like a world-class standard, ready to receive events from us guys locally and also international events. So it's very exciting for Nigeria and for Nigerians, and it's such an apt day to have this reopening. And of course, the president is coming to commission the reopening as well.
Today is a memorable day in the history of Nigeria. It's October 1st. How do you marry that with the fact that this is also happening today?
I think today is our day. We got our independence today, and we are reopening today. So it's all about the fact that where are we now? Is 65th anniversary, is 2025. Nigeria is flying in the creative field through film, through art, through music, and to just make so much sense. And of course, the renaming Wole Soyinka as well, a Nobel laureate. He's going to be here. He's so many amazing contributions to literary world and stage. So we're going to rename it after him today, and it's just really, really exciting.
This is something that people have looked forward to. This whole place is looking really amazing. What should be your message now for Nigerians in the usage of this place as a monument?
This place was built for culture, as you know, for Festac in 1976, actually, ahead of 77. This place is built for culture, it's built for the youth. It's a place where we want Nigerians to come to enjoy, and we hope to do really innovative and exciting programming for everybody, actually. And there's so many people have so many memories of this place when they were growing up. People came for picnics, they came to watch Shalama, they came to watch James Bond.
We seem to have lost Israel Ifirobo there. He is live for the reopening of the National Stadium. It's going to be now renamed as Wole Soyinka Centre for Arts and Culture. Let's go to a short break, shall we? When we return, bandits kidnap Niger State Electoral Commissioner and others. We have the details after the break. Stay with us. And off to Abia State in the capital, Umuahia, where residents have expressed mixed feelings as Nigeria marks 65 years of independence. Now speaking with News Central's Chinwe Ugeli, some residents noted that the country has recorded only limited achievements since independence. Now others stressed the need for Nigeria to attain true independency by implementing policies that prioritize the welfare and interests of all citizens above all else.
To a reasonable extent, I may say that Nigeria has, but not fully independent in some areas. In terms of political, I can say that yes, Nigeria governs herself. Nigeria make laws, make rules, but at some areas, Nigeria has not really been able to be independent from some influence from the West.
We have a long way to go on that particular aspect. Like, it's like infrastructures and other things. We are backward.
For now, at least we have democracy. And that is one aspect that Nigeria has got, whether rightly operated or not. We still have democracy.
We've not done much compared to the number of the years in question. 65 years, you can imagine.
This October 1st, Nigeria marks 65 years of independence, a moment for both celebrations and sober reflection. In Kogi State, known by many as the Confluence State, citizens are asking critical questions bordering on Nigeria's growth trajectory since independence. Our correspondent Moina Balagbogbo speaks to residents of Lokoja, the Kogi State capital, to get their reactions and expectations for Nigeria at 65. Take a look.
Nigeria turns 65, a milestone that invites reflection, not only in government circles, but also in everyday life. In Kogi State, the nation's geographical identity, citizens are assessing the gaps and the gains of independence 65 years after the Union Jack came down.
For those who lived through independence, memories of early Nigeria remain vivid, but so do the disappointments.
8th of August 1991, civil servants were sleeping in offices. But today, ministries in Kogi State, they have beautiful accommodations.
From the former president to the previous one to the current one, one thing I observe as a professional accountant is that the current governments have tried to stabilize the economy for some time.
Among the youth, there is both hope and frustration as national pride wrestles with present-day realities.
I feel that the youth are sidelined, yes.
I personally not to leave the country.
The country is a little bit tough for now.
For families, especially women, survival is the daily barometer of national progress.
Market man in the market shouting, no money to buy things. Some of us are hungry.
Kogi's ethnic and cultural diversity mirrors the country's own, a test of unity and strength in difference.
The political actors actually the soul's idea of this, separation. You're from here, from there. But as average Igala person, average Oku person, average Igala person, they unite together.
The voices from Kogi State echo a national sentiment, proud to be Nigerian, yet eager to match the aspirations of its people. In Lokoja for News Central, Moina Balagogo.
Many other persons might argue that London is the second capital of Nigeria, given how Nigerians are there. But let's head to faraway London, where Nigerians are marking 65 years of independence with a special symposium that is led by Mayor Princess Bright. Now, the event brings together community leaders, politicians, and cultural figures to reflect on Nigeria's progress and challenges while celebrating the country's rich heritage. Our senior international correspondent, Afia Hagen, is live at the symposium with more. Afia, London, they say London is the second capital of Nigeria. I disagree, but that's what they say. So set the scene for us. What's happening there today, and what's the atmosphere like?
Oh, Judith, it certainly seems like London is the second capital of Nigeria. We had a crowd of people out earlier on for the flag raising that took place out in the front of Barking Town Hall. And that was all because of our worshipful Mayor of Barking and Dagenham, that is Mayor Princess Bright. Princess, thank you so much for having us here today at this Symposium for Nigerian Independence. Tell me, first of all, about the flag raising. Why was that so important for you to have that done on Nigerian Independence Day?
Thank you very much, Afua. It was really important for that flag, the Nigerian flag, to be raised today because we want to send a signal to everyone in Barking and Dagenham that we are proud of Nigeria and we are proud of our independence. We're marking 65 years of independence today, and that flag is a symbol of resilience, it's a symbol of hope, and it's a symbol that we are proud in Barking and Dagenham to celebrate the Nigerians here in the UK but also abroad.
Proud, most certainly, and lots of proud Nigerians turned out for the symposium that's been taking place this afternoon. Tell me about the main takeaways from that event.
So from the symposium, we had an array of speakers, which was fantastic, and they covered different areas of our life. So we had people in the business area, we had people who were educators, we had people who have come from Nigeria here to the UK to settle in. And the key takeaways that I was able to take away from the symposium was, number one, being here in the UK as a Nigeria, we are amazing. We're doing great stuff. We're trailblazers, we're innovators, and we should continue to encourage each other and continue to be proud of what we're doing here in the UK. Another thing that I took away from the symposium was the fact that regardless of where we come from, i.e. Nigeria, we should understand that our background, our DNA, the resilience within us is what makes us stand out as amazing people in the UK. And we heard from various amount of speakers who are doing amazing things in the UK. And we want to continue to champion that in Barking and Dagenham and send, once again, as I mentioned, a signal to the world that we're here, we're trailblazing, and we're doing great things here in the UK.
Trailblazing, absolutely, and we can certainly use that word when it comes to you. You're a few months into your term now. How has it been going?
It's been very busy. It's been very, very, very busy 4 months into the role, but it's been fantastic. Why? Because it's opened my eyes into seeing the amazing things that we have here in Barking and Dagenham, celebrating diversity, supporting our local business, making sure our residents' voices are heard, but most importantly, as we've seen here today, raising the flag for independence of our specific country, Nigeria, today.
Amazing. Princess Bright, thank you so much for having us. That was Princess Bright, the Worshipful Mayor of Barking and Dagenham. And like I said, lots and lots of Nigerian residents of Barking and Dagenham came out today for the symposium, and hearing from different people across business, educators, people who care about Nigeria and care about the Nigerian diaspora has been really inspiring.
Afia, since you're there celebrating the independence, have you had a chance to taste Nigerian jollof rice and once and for all decided that ours is the best, I mean, for the sake of Independence Day? Afia, international correspondent all the way from London. Let's go on a short break, shall we? When we return, we've got security stories. Stay with us. Standoff between Dangote Refinery and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASSAN, has been resolved, averting a potential strike that could have disrupted operations and gas supply across the country. Now, the dispute centered on the dismissal of about 800 refinery workers, sparking fears of industrial action. But after a series of high-level meetings facilitated by the Ministry of Labour and Employment, both parties reached an agreement. Under the deal, the affected staff will be recalled and redeployed to other subsidiaries within the Dangote Group. Officials also stressed that no worker would face victimization for their role in the dispute. The conciliation meeting was attended by top government officials, security chiefs, and union leaders. With the resolution, PENGASSAN says it has begun steps to suspend its planned strike. And up to Kogi State, where tragedy is struck in the state where a boat mishap has claimed the lives of 26 passengers. The incident occurred on Tuesday evening as traders traveled from Ibaji local government area to Ulushi Market in Edo State. A statement from the Commissioner for Information and Communications, Kingsley Fanwo, confirmed the death toll at 26. Governor Usman Ododo has expressed his condolences to the bereaved families and directed emergency agencies, including the State Emergency Management Agency, to provide urgent relief to those affected. The governor also pledged closer collaboration with federal agencies to strengthen safety measures on waterways and urged Nigerians, particularly riverine communities, to avoid overloading boats and to always use life jackets. And now to security matters. Bandits have abducted Ahmed Mohammed, a commissioner with the Niger State Independent Electoral Commission, along with his driver, former Subeb chairman Mohammed Bawa Niwuru, and scores of motorists. The incident occurred along the Zugurma Ibi New Busa Road near Ibi National Park in Mishigu local government area. It was gathered that the victims were returning from Borgu when the gunmen struck. A police tactical team engaged the attackers, successfully repealing them. However, one officer sustained gunshot injuries and was rushed to a nearby hospital for treatment. Confirming the incident, the Niger State Police Command spokesman, SP Wasiu Abiodun, said the police patrol vehicle was riddled with bullets during the confrontation. Tension is rising in Mutu Daya, a rural community in Niger State, following reports that armed vigilantes, reportedly or allegedly backed by a local miner, forced the closure of the community's only secondary school while injuring a farmer. The incident occurred shortly after students resumed from the academic break at the government secondary school in Mutu Daya. The school had only reopened 2 years ago after being shut for more than 4 years due to persistent attacks by bandits. News Central's correspondent Bettina Nweli reports.
Members in Mutundaya believe mineral deposits are at the root of rising tensions between miners and locals. According to John Dennis, secretary of the Mutundaya Youth Association, the vigilantes were allegedly acting on the orders of a miner identified as Obed Kango to stop students from entering the school.
So what is happening in this place is that they are doing illegal mining in this our community secondary school Mutundaya, which we youth we kick against, because our student came to school yesterday. They was chased out by some illegal security that brought by one of the mining officer, Mr. Yakwe Obed Congo, and we the youth we kick against. That's why we raise a motion and we raise the protest against this community, so that we don't want this place to be doing mining. That was the purpose we do the protest yesterday.
The chairman of the Parent-Teacher Association, Sani Saraki, described the developments as an attack on the future of their children.
Masaimu na iyaye da farkon da na ga abun ga ya faru sai na nema sarakunan da muke da su a nan don ba mu ji dadin shi haka ba. Ba mu so mu yi waya nan don in mun ce mun tayi da makarantar ga muna kallon shi ne haka ana so ma yanzu nan karshen ta za a rusa makarantar nan. Ana rusa ta yanzu nan ba wurin da yara mu zo su je makaranta.
As of Tuesday morning, the school remained deserted. Only 3 students showed up but returned home after finding the classrooms empty and the atmosphere tense.
An zo an kore yara sun koma gida saboda wai zinari. Ni ba zinari din ne matsala na ba, amma abin da zai affect din mu a gaba shi muke gudu. Ana yin aikin zinara nan zuwa nan gaba kanninmu yayanmu ina za su je makaranta. Yanzu ana tsadan rayuwa ne. Shi yasa ka gan mu youth duka community kowa yayi fushi ba ma jin daɗi. Muka kai kuka gaba a taimake mu.
While community voices, including youth leaders, are urging the state government to intervene immediately, authorities are yet to issue an official statement.
From Nigeria and off to Madagascar, where security forces in the country have fired tear gas and rubber bullets in the capital, Antananarivo, as thousands of demonstrators poured onto the streets in renewed anti-government protests. The unrest comes after days of violent clashes that have left several people dead, deepening political tensions in the island nation. In a bid to restore calm, the president of the country dissolved his government, but the move has done little to quell public anger. Now, protesters insist on deeper political change, accusing the president of failing to deliver progress despite years in power. Authorities have stepped up security across the capital as demonstrators show no sign of easing rising fears of further instability.
Akatso dia tsy manaiky ny fivaly-teny nomeny andro Rajoelina noho izany dia tsy ampy aminay ny fialan'ny gouvernement fa mila ihany koa zay ny fametraha-pialana, ny fanadiovana ny Assemblée nationale izay feno volomboasary. Sotra tompoko.
Tsy mavaolana eo raha vao tsy ratsy mialatra any amin'ny fotony tsisy zavatra miova zany eo, tsy miova io, mila andro Rajoelina mihitsy miala zany.
takina fialany andrajoelona efa 4 taona izy teo tsy zatra niova ny fiainany gasy me ratsy me simba isan'andro ho avinay tsy mamiratra tsony.
Nos enseignants, ils ne sont pas payés. Ils ne sont pas payés depuis 2019 et donc ils ne viennent pas enseigner. La plupart, ils ont arrêté de venir nous enseigner à l'Uni. Et donc, depuis peu, on n'a plus de cours. Surtout nous, on est en master, je suis en master 2. Et actuellement, j'ai presque plus de cours, alors que je suis censée avoir fini mon master depuis 2024.
And off to Ethiopia, where the death toll from a church collapse in RT, Ethiopia, has risen to 36, with more than 200 others injured. Now, the tragedy happened during the annual Virgin Mary Festival, when scaffolding at the worship site gave way. The incident occurred around 7:45 a.m. local time, as thousands of pilgrims gathered for the celebration about 70 kilometers east of Addis Ababa. Officials say rescue operations are ongoing, with fears the casualty figure may rise further as many remain trapped under debris. Several of the seriously injured have been moved to hospitals in Addis Ababa for urgent treatment. Authorities have opened an investigation into the collapse as the disaster highlights persistent concerns over safety regulations in Ethiopia, where fatal construction accidents remain common. Officially shut down after lawmakers failed to reach a funding agreement. The deadlock centered on healthcare spending triggered the first shutdown under President Donald Trump's current term. The budget standoff forced hundreds of thousands of federal workers into furlough, while critical public services face disruption nationwide. Now, negotiations broke down in the Senate, where a stopgap funding measure failed to advance before the midnight deadline. Now, Democrats insist on expanding healthcare allocations, while Republicans resisted, leading to a stalemate that has deepened partisan tensions in Washington. Now, federal agencies began halting operations at about 12:01 a.m., with uncertainty mounting over how long the shutdown will last and its impact on the American public. The World Travel and Tourism Council Summit is underway in Italy, where industry leaders are exploring fresh ways to drive global economic growth through tourism. Now, discussions are covering a wide range of issues, from job creation and artificial intelligence in travel to welfare, as well as wellness, luxury rail, and the impact of major global events. Now, News Central's Mungani Ziziba reports from Rome.
This gathering has quickly become the global stage where discussions about the future of tourism take center stage, shaping policies, investment, and collaborations across continents. The summit has brought together top business leaders and policymakers under one roof to promote sustainable growth in tourism and highlight its economic and social value. In her opening remarks, Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni stressed the central role of tourism in economic development, citing Italy's own success stories and opportunities ahead. The mayor of Rome echoed this, underlining the importance of sustainability and global partnership to fuel growth.
Developing a new approach to tourism requires an awareness of the fragility of territories and communities and of the need to protect landscapes and heritage. Tourism also involves balancing growth with preserving cities, heritage, and identities. Over-tourism can have a substantial impact on people's quality of life and can profoundly change our cities.
But strikingly, Africa, with its fast-growing tourism sector and untapped potential, was missing from the table at this high-profile gathering.
No reason why all major countries in Africa wouldn't be welcome here, but you've got to accept you have to promote your own interests. This isn't meant to be a handout, this is meant to be a hand up. So if you don't reach out, no one can give you a hand up.
I think there could be more, to be honest with you, and I think that, like I said, it starts with the governments.
They have to see the true value of tourism and how it can help out the economies and help the people of the nations.
In fact, many countries see tourism as a key pillar for sustainable development and economic resilience. Today, Africa's tourism sector is also in the spotlight. Countries like South Africa, which will be hosting the G20 summit later this year, are emphasizing the role of tourism in boosting their economies. So as the world tourism landscape evolves, many nations are seizing these opportunities to position themselves as prime destinations. The question now remains, will Nigeria and other African countries harness this momentum to unlock their full tourism potential? In Rome, Italy, for News Central, Bongani Siziba.
Now on News Central Television, when we come back, we head to Odessa, the southern city in Ukraine, where 9 people have died. After the break, stay with us. Back. At least 9 people have died in Ukraine's southern city of Odessa after a powerful rainstorm triggered severe flooding. Torrential rainfall overwhelmed drainage systems, leaving streets submerged and vehicles stranded. Emergency crews rescued more than 360 people from homes and cars, though authorities warned the death toll could rise as search and rescue operations continue. The flooding has also disrupted transport, power, and communication networks, compounding the crisis for residents. And off to the Middle East, as Afghanistan has entered a second day of near-total blackout, with internet and power phone services cut off nationwide. The Taliban say the move was ordered by their reclusive leader to prevent vice. But as senior international correspondent Afia Hagen explains, the shutdown is paralyzing daily life and raising fears of deeper isolation. Take a look.
For the first time since returning to power in 2021, the Taliban have plunged Afghanistan into a communications blackout. Internet watchdogs say connectivity collapsed to less than 1% of normal levels late Monday after fibre optic networks were deliberately switched off. The shutdown follows earlier restrictions in several provinces and now affects the entire country. Officials confirmed that up to 9,000 mobile towers have been disabled until further notice. With no phones or internet, businesses, banks, customs and trade have been paralysed. The blackout has been imposed on the direct orders of Taliban leader Hibatullah Akhundzada. He reportedly ignored warnings from his own officials about the severe economic fallout, insisting the measure was needed to prevent vice. Diplomatic sources say mobile networks are mostly shut down, leaving even the United Nations reliant on radios and satellite phones. Aid operations have been severely impacted. The outage underscores Afghanistan's growing isolation. Just last year, the Taliban hailed the 9,000-kilometre fibre optic network as a lifeline to the outside world. Today, that same infrastructure has been switched off, cutting millions off from their families, their livelihoods, and the rest of the world. With no timeline for restoration, Afghans are bracing for prolonged silence. The Taliban say alternative systems may one day replace the internet, but for now the country remains in the dark. For News Central, I'm Afia Hagen.
Now for some business, as Nigeria's Debt Management Office has listed 200 billion naira bonds for subscription at its September 29, 2025 auction. The issuance comprises of a 100 billion naira, and it's about 17.945% FGN August 2030 bond, and a 100 billion naira, 17.95% FGN June 2032 bond. Now, settlement is scheduled for October 2nd of 2025 at 1,000 naira per unit, with a minimum subscription of about 50 million to about 1,000 naira. Now, interest is payable semi-annually, while repayment is due at maturity. The bonds listed on NGX and FMDQ, qualify as liquid assets for banks and are tax exempt for pension funds. Now, between January and August of 2025, the DMO raised 3.03 trillion naira, with subscriptions hitting 4.94 trillion naira.